Because I plan to build up the painting in layers, I first do a base layer, which may look quite primitive, but it does contain the color transitions which determine the final painting. This means I'm going to paint a greenish color in the foreground, which will become increasingly blue towards the background. Adding cerulean blue to the mix already shifts the color towards the blue side of the spectrum. For the color just below the horizon, I added more titanium white and a touch of vermilion red to maintain some of the sandy character of the water. The stipple brush and the makeup brush, which I mainly use for the first round when smoothing large areas. Next is the contour of the dune. I constantly check its shape on my iPad without interrupting the drawing of the line. I try to draw these kind of shapes in one go as much as possible. With my 00 Kolinsky brush, I draw the edges of the clouds. To block in the clouds, I use a number 12 synthetic flat brush. The closer the clouds are to the horizon, the more they are in the shadow. That's why I'm adding violet gray to the mix. Although I didn't paint the edges of the clouds wet on wet, I'm still going to use this technique for the inside of the cloud. Painting soft edges comes naturally. The underpainting is dry, so now it's time for the reductive painting technique I mentioned earlier. But first, the line that separates the dark and light part of the wave. With this mix, I'm applying a light layer on top of the underpainting. On the one hand, the paint should not be too thin, because then it's not opaque enough. But on the other hand, not too thick either, because then I cannot remove it to suggest a swell. A yogurt-like consistency works best. With the handle of an old brush folded into my rag, I draw the shapes of the waves in the wet coat of paint. The further away the waves, the smaller and the closer together the lines will be. This way you can create a realistic image in a fairly simple way. The top of the wave in the foreground does indeed form a sharp separation between light and dark, but the two sides are not separate worlds. I make the connection by painting foam patterns using a 002 Kolinsky brush. To add accents, I now use a slightly lighter color. If you approach it in this step-by-step way, you will prevent the foam patterns from becoming isolated lines with no connection to the rest of the wave. I paint them in moderation. If they're all over the place, they're no longer accents. In this shot, you can clearly see how the yellow green of the underpainting contributes to the suggestion the wave is transparent. You should only use this effect in the crest of a wave. There, the water mass is thin enough to let the light through. When painting water, you have to deal with two types of contrasts: very subtle, soft contrasts, and very sharp, strong ones. I'll start with the soft contrasts. In this painting, they're mostly in the dark side of the wave. Bluish and in some places greenish colors, and in all cases shades that are slightly different in color than the color of the wave, but almost the same in tone. And now we get to the stronger contrasts. They're mostly on the illuminated side of the water. I'm going to increase the contrast by painting a still lighter color in some places. Note, this is still not the lightest color. That will come later. With the same brush I can do the details in the front wave and the small waves in the distance as well. And yet another step in increasing the contrasts. The highest part of the front wave catches the most light, and the jumping wave heads get an extra dab of light paint. Again, I use my 002 Kolinsky brush. With its tip, I can best paint the jumping movement of the small wave tops. In short, I've increased the contrast in the clouds, given the dunes a bit more body by making both the beach grass and the sand a little darker, and finally did a crucial detail, the distant surf. It's hardly any work, but it adds a lot to the realism of the painting. Thanks to liquid, yesterday's layer is already dry enough to apply a new one. I decide for a layer of transparent white, king's blue light, and a little bit of indigo. Using the same transparent blue color, I do a few final accents in the foam trails, which also increases the connection between foreground and background. Okay, this painting is officially finished. If you are more into expressive color explosions, it might be better for the atmosphere in the house if you choose a different approach. In any case, keep painting.